trying to figure out what supplements to take, there's so many supplements out on the market that claim to be helpful for your thyroid. So I'm going to go over with you a few of my favorite supplements for thyroid health and even a few brands. So potassium is probably going to be my biggest one that I typically do recommend. I love potassium for numerous reasons, but when we consider potassium for people with hypothyroidism, one of the things that potassium does is it sensitizes all your cells so that it accepts thyroid hormones. So that's why, like, you could have a normal thyroid panel but may not be using your thyroid hormones. So potassium is really, really good for this. However, it needs to be chelated. Make sure it's a chelated potassium. I personally like Douglas Labs has a chelated potassium. That's one of my preferences. I think it works amazing. You can also get a lot of potassium from things like coconut water, has a ton of potassium. We need about 4,500 milligrams a day, just normal function for potassium. So it's a great way to get it in. Magnesium is another one that I think is super, super crucial for your thyroid and your adrenals for that matter. Be careful with magnesium though, because magnesium can be very deceiving because it comes in so many different forms, and like magnesium citrate is actually a laxative. It's just going to make you poop. So I don't really want that one unless I have someone who's constipated, but I would rather have them get something like magnesium glycinate, buffered magnesium, chelated magnesium. Those are going to be your better bets. And timing wise, as far as when you're taking it, just really depends on how you feel. So that's going to be super person dependent. If it makes you a little sleepier because it's a calming mineral, then you definitely don't want to take it, in the morning. Some people do better with they split dose it, where they do it morning and evening. That's kind of how I do it. But I really would make sure that it's a chelated or type of buffered. Designs for Health makes a really good one. There's so many different ones out there, but that's my preference. Selenium is another one. So selenium is really essential for the thyroid. It's another mineral that I think is super crucial. I actually test this on the hair tissue mineral test, but it's important for thyroid hormone conversion, that conversion of inactive T4 over to active T3. A lot affects conversion, but selenium is definitely one of them. Again, be careful with selenium because selenium comes in different forms too. And if it's not in a specific form, it's not going to be as absorbable. So I personally like selenium methionine. There's, again, a lot of different brands out there. Thorne makes a really good one. Designs for Health makes a really good one. So those are kind of my go-tos. You can also eat 1 to 2 sprouted Brazil nuts every single day. Has a ton of selenium, so that works great as well. Probiotics are definitely a crucial piece, I feel, as well. For me personally, with my clients, I do gut testing. I do a stool test so I can see what type of probiotic you actually need based off your gut test results. But if I'm just blanketly saying everyone needs a probiotic is probably going to always be my go-to for everyone without having any testing. I think probiotics are very crucial. I personally like spore-based probiotics. They don't need to be refrigerated. They survive the acidity and the temperature of your gut very easily. There's really no guessing with it. Everyone pretty much tolerates a spore-based one. Orthomolecular makes something that's a spore-based one, as well as Megaspore, which is by another company that they actually have a whole bunch of different supplements. But they were kind of the hallmark one that came around with the spore-based one. But it's Microbiome Labs is the company. But they were kind of the hallmark one that started the spore-based probiotic. So it's called Megaspore Biotic is what it's called. But I prefer something like that when you're just kind of blindly taking a probiotic. But I think these probiotics work amazing. I think they work very, very well. So those are kind of my go-tos. There are, very cautious though, but there are thyroid combination products. I'm a little hesitant with those because they do have certain things in them that I feel like people don't necessarily need. And if you have like thyroid antibodies like Hashimoto's, some people don't do well with like ashwagandha. It can be very triggering for people with Hashimoto's. If you don't have very much cortisol present, ashwagandha can lower cortisol even more, which is good for people who have high cortisol, but not if you have low cortisol. Some of them have iodine in them. A lot of people cannot tolerate iodine. So just be very careful. I'm always a little hesitant with the combo products. I do more individual, and I, again, will base it off lab testing. Typically, I'm going to be looking at gut testing, hormone and adrenal testing, as well as mineral and metal testing in the hair. So those will kind of give us a good idea of what supplements you need. But these supplements, like I mentioned, a lot of people need when they have slow thyroid. They're super crucial. So definitely let me know if you have questions, more questions about brands. If there's something that you're using and you're kind of wondering, is this a good brand, or is this a good form of it? Just reach out, let me know, or drop a comment below. I'm happy to help you with that. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.